Singapore, the Marina Bay Street Circuit, the first ever night race that happened on the Formula 1 calendar way back in 2008. Feels like a long time ago now. And of course, then we're just waiting in the lobby, ready to get going. But before we do, I'm just going to share the link a bit quick. So bear with me a second whilst I go quiet, because I can't do two things at once. Because, you know, brain capacity and all that. So give me a second. Yeah, but you can see then we've got whilst we got the circuit map on the screen right now, and you can see it's 23 corners around this very technical, very twisty, very very challenging street circuit. It's actually one of the longest in terms of the race time on the calendar. We've gone from the longest track on the calendar to one of the longest race time circuits, just because it's so slow average speed, which obviously brings up the race time. Course size. Also, you've got to be very. I'm very quiet apparently. Well, because I'm well, because I've still got a bit of a sore throat. Yeah, and also we got to also the weather as well. We got to take into account as well. Right, that's all the usual bits and bobs done, all the technical stuff done. So now we can get into talking about the history of Singapore whilst waiting for the drivers to come in. So you see we've got 23 corners around the Marina Bay circuit, and of course then we got the softest, well, almost the softest selection. We've got the hyper soft, the ultra soft. We don't have the super soft, but we have the soft. So that we got a step missing, and we may even need the intermediates and wet tires, because as we said before, the weather, it can be very difficult around this circuit. As I've got a good evening comms from Lucas. Good evening, Lucas. I'm glad you've joined us, and hopefully we'll get some track action in a minute. As you can see, we're just waiting for the other drivers to make their arrival. Of course, there is some kind of final going on tonight, isn't there? The Europa League or something like that. No one wants to see that, do they? Really? No Arsenal fans or Chelsea fans here, are there? The big match is on Saturday, of course. Liverpool against Tottenham. Come on. Anyway, enough about the football. Let's get on with the racing then. So yeah, it's very because of course this track can be during the actual Formula 1 season, this track can be very it's very hot, very humid, even when it's in the evening. So yeah, it's but of course because we're near the I think we're near the equator kind of thing, isn't it? So of course we do expect tropical rains, very similar to how Malaysia used to be when Malaysia was on the track. Malaysia was on the calendar. But yeah, the first ever night race in Formula 1. I think it's still the only full night race on the calendar as it stands. Of course, we've got Abu Dhabi, who's more of a dusk kind of circuit, isn't it? Well, I suppose Bahrain is actually a night race as well, really, isn't it? Even though, yeah, I think that Bahrain is actually a night race as well, I suppose. But yeah, this was the first ever night race. Of course, way back in 2008, the first ever winner was Fernando Alonso, believe it or not. Well, you obviously will believe it because Fernando Alonso is a very good driver, but in the Renault in 2008, of course, he won under very suspicious circumstances. Unfortunately, his teammate Nelson P. It was all part of the crash gate, wasn't it? Where Piquet drove into caused a safety car on purpose, which is a bit of a shame, really. And then, ironically, a year later, Roman Grosjean crashed in exactly the same place. When he, of course, Roman Grosjean was of course, a bit more greener back then, wasn't he? When he first started out, he was like a super sub for Renault before for the final couple of races in 2009, before returning back to GP2, I think it was. Yeah, it was GP2. So, and then making the final cut back in 2012, of course, returning to Lotus. It was rebranded as, even though it's the same team. It's still the same Enstone-based team. So there's a bit of history there. Of course, we had a great race in 2017, of course, the first ever rain-affected Singapore race, and everyone remembers the first corner incident. It was the defining moment in the championship that year, I believe, really, where Verstappen, Vettel and Raikkonen all crashed into each other. It was an amazing sight to see, and yeah, kind of unfortunate, really. And that, of course, let Hamilton through to win the race, really. I'm disappointed actually about that race because I thought Ricardo would definitely be trying to sort put more of a pressure on there. Yeah, sorry, I got mentioned in the comment there. How unprofessional of me. I shouldn't get distracted, should I? But yeah, I was disappointed that race because I really thought Ricardo would take it to Hamilton, but yeah, he just didn't. He came up short there. So it's a very difficult track. This is a lot of highlights. Of course, Hamilton retired in 2012, didn't he? When and that might have been in the final moment when he decided to switch teams to Mercedes. Of course, he was leading the race, and I think that retirement also effectively ended his championship chances for that season as well, and let Vettel through to take the win. Vettel had an amazing helmet as well, actually, back then, didn't he? He had one that was kind of like sparkly and glowy, which was which is good. Well, I quite enjoyed it anyway. I thought it was a really cool helmet back at the time. Yeah. So, of course, there's an interesting fact I seen actually on I like this page, WTF1, WTF1. Yeah, they was actually saying to this day, I think, on this day they have like loads of articles come up, and on this day it was actually where Kimi Raikkonen's tire blew out in 2005. Incredible start, didn't it? In the Nürburgring. That's an extreme way of having of having a flat spot. So yeah, that was quite an alarming thing. That was. I'm interested. That was a great race as well. I quite liked 2005. One of my favourite years it was. Rules was very odd, where you had to go through an entire race without changing your tyres. I mean, yeah, that was interesting. Of course, 2005 also featured the infamous moment of when we only had 6 cars on the grid in the USA. Beginning the end, wasn't it, for Indianapolis? I must admit, I wasn't a fan of the Indianapolis circuit. Anyway, they've modified it now. It looks a bit better. I haven't really seen it in all its glory, but it does look a lot better than it was when Formula 1 was racing around there. As you can see, we're just taking a look at the beautiful images of Singapore. As you can see, there's turn 1. You can look at it. It was smack bang right in the middle of Singapore. So we got all sorts of amazing monuments around here. So we're about ready to go. Oh, am I that quiet, guys? Oh dear. Hang on a bit. Let me see if I can get something going here. Audio. No, that's not it. Hang on. Have you tried turning it off and back on? That's what I would do. And yeah, as we've gotten, what kind of qualifying are we going for? We've got short qualifying this afternoon, so yeah, that will definitely. So this is going to change up the strategy slightly. So there's no Q1, Q2, Q3. It'll be going straight into qualifying. And I've just also heard that it's all clear for both qualifying and the race. So yeah, so that's the weather out the window. Then I was expecting this to be like proper. We could have had some interesting things going on here. As I'm just trying to look at my settings because, you know, I think I'll adjust my microphone level. Oh, that'll do. Right, let's go. I made myself jump there. Right, anyway, we're ready to go, and we've got a car on track. That was amazingly well timed, I think. I'm really impressed with myself there. So you can see then this is a full night race. So does it affect the drivers? I wouldn't say not too much really. I think it affects guys much more in the actual race weekend than it does on this actual game. As we're just watching, we've got 12 drivers in this session. Unfortunately, as we're watching Jordy there, just going over the white line there, that she should have got away with that. But yeah, oh, lovely helmet. Of course, a couple of drivers have still got the Niki Lauda tribute helmets. Of course, Niki Lauda's funeral. Seen a couple of pictures going out and around the internet today. And there's one of a really touching picture actually of Hamilton and Niki Lauda's son just embracing, which I thought was really nice to see. So yeah, of course, there's a lot of stories going around about Niki Lauda, how he was the one that convinced Hamilton to go to Mercedes as well. Now look at the success he's had since he's been at Mercedes. So yeah, I feel bit of a somber old day that was. We're on board then with we're on board Jamieson in the James Wood, sorry, in the McLaren Renault, and we're also on board with Geordie at the moment, as just having a quick look up and down. So at the moment, so these guys got 18 minutes in total. 15 minutes then remains in the session. So we have got Vanquish, who returns after he was out last week. So of course he was enjoying himself on holiday. So hopefully had a good holiday, and he returns now. We've also got in this session, we've got Geordie, we got Nigel returning, an amazing debut drive from Nigel last time out in Belgium. No, not in Belgium, in Italy. It was Italy, wasn't it? I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking Belgium, blimey. I don't know, it's been a long old week it has for me. It's, I can't believe it's only Wednesday, and we had a bank holiday as well. So yeah, that just shows how, oh, and talking of bad weeks or bad starts, Jamie goes very wide there into turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. So unfortunately that's his lap gone already. We got a couple of different tyre selections out there at the moment. We've got the soft tyre and got the hyper soft out there as well. We're just watching the Renault driver, Geordie. Now coming down the back straight, there are 2 DRS zones. As I'm just taking a look at yeah, because I've got the review here. Yeah, it was a brilliant drive. It was a brilliant drive for of course, Jamie won the race, but it was a brilliant drive for Sozen, or Soz as we decided to call him. Me and Matt did, and also we also had Nigel in there as well. So 2 great debutants there. You can see this is one track. We're going over the Anderson Bridge now. We're on board. Crazy Power is slightly in Geordie's way there, so that's hindering Geordie. And remember, Geordie is on the Hypersoft tyres as well, so they ain't going to be good for more than 1 or 2 laps. Tron is 2 laps is probably the max you're going to do as well. Got yellow flag in sector 2. Hopefully that's just guys getting out of the way. But yeah, it's so just on board then with Geordie then. So I think he should be the first one across the line. As Lennon says, yo, yo back. As we got 30 minutes. Of course, Lennon's also in the race as well. He in the session as well. He's in the pits at the moment. So just waiting to see if the track can evolve a bit. Now coming into turn 22 and 23, the very fast end to the corners, and he's done to the circuit. And Geordie is unfortunately invalidated his time. Of course, we've seen Jamie have an adventure in the first corner. We've got Lucas now. Of course, Lucas was our trackside reporter earlier, as a Vanquish goes fastest on the soft tyre of 142.3 at the moment in the Force India, which is now known as Racing Point from 2009 onwards, even though it's still it's still Force India to me. Jamie, of course, crosses the line. He goes second fast at the moment, but remember, he had an interesting line as turn 1, 2 and 3 went very wide there. On board with Lucas now. Of course, Lucas was our Ted Kravitz for a bit there, so he stood in and he told us the weather for both qualifier and the race. On board then with Lucas, you got to get very quick, very close to that. And Lucas is in the pits, so oh, he's hit the wall, and Vanquish is retired from the session, and Lucas has hit the wall coming into the pits. It's very easily done. As NWB of course one of the newer drivers as well. So you can see he's taking a bit of a shortcut there. Oh, lovely footage here of Crazy Power's rear suspension there. Co-Andy though, Co-Andy goes fast at the moment on 140.5. So 2 seconds quicker than Vanquish there. Vanquish is retired very early from this session. Yeah, I know there's only 12 cars on track, but there's still a bit of a pinch point there, so you can't really be too far down. I mean, once you flirt the walls, quite a lot around here. NWB has just started as that Crazy Power, then it's coming through to the end. The tyres are really screaming towards it, and this is a very long old lap. This, as you can see, we're on a 140, almost as long as Belgium in terms of time. But it's just because it's a slow lap. We're now coming through to finish the lap. Crazy Power goes fast. It's brilliant time now from Crazy Power in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. There we go. Yellow flag in sector 1, and I think that is it Geordie? I might have been. Just watching Nigel now, who is oh, he's hit the wall as well. They're coming into the just coming into the final sector, and then that ain't going to help him too much, is it? As he damaged his front wing, it was a tap. He's on the soft tyres as well. Everyone's going on the soft tyres at the moment. They want to give themselves as a big window as possible to come into the pit. I was on a quick read about past history, about past races that Nigel didn't invalidate his lap. Anyway, BP is now on the lap. We're on board BP. Lovely red helmet there. Oh, love the that. BP then in the Sauber as well, coming through. Of course, his teammates on pole position at the moment by on a 39.5. What does BP do? He's gone into a 37. Brilliant stuff. Vanquish there is out quite quickly in this qualifying session. We've got 10 minutes to go. And wow, Co-Andy goes back up in his second position. He's done 2 laps on those soft tyres. Is that going to be a factor? Well, we'll find out and see. Is this a tyre dependent circuit? Well, all I know is, well, I don't even know, to be honest. Yeah, I don't even know really, to be honest. I don't know much about strategy, but I've been having a quick read of what the couple of the drivers said. Of course, what the experts have said, and of course, in a couple of what these guys have been saying. Some of them have been saying stay away from the Hypersoft tyre. So and you can see that there definitely wasn't actually like a bluff in there. A lot of them are staying away from the Hypersoft tyre. Coming through the final corner, NWB is also in a 37, and he has gone 37.6, so he has gone third fastest. I'm surprised Vanquish has called it a day straight away, unless he visited the barrier. Is it Lucas there? Is it back out again? So he was on the Hypersoft earlier. Here comes Nigel in the Red Bull. And Jamie goes fast again, so it's a McLaren 1-3 at the moment. And he's in the 36.9. It's brilliant stuff. We're getting quicker and quicker around here at the moment. So these guys are really starting to get into their rhythm. And that's 3 laps on the soft tyres. Remember, this is the hardest compound of the 3 tyres that Pirelli have brought to this racetrack. Of course, Pirelli, the tyre supplier of Formula 1. They have been since 2011 as well. So there's a little fun fact for you. I'm sure everyone knew that though. As, of course, then before that, we had the old Bridgestone tyres, which basically could have lasted forever, couldn't they? That which didn't make the racing all that interesting. But I must admit, the last season they was in F1, it was also one of the better seasons as well. 2010, we had 4 drivers competing for the title right until the last race. Coming over the Anson Bridge now, Lucas is. So he's in the Williams at the moment. So look at how tight these corners are. That's why it's got such a low average speed. As now he's just coming into sector 3 now. I remember when this track first opened up, they actually colour coordinated the walls, didn't they? And I think it's probably, it used to be yellow, didn't it? I don't think they've done it again this year. Oh, look at that sliding now. And now this is a unique part of the track. We're going under the grandstand, which I thought used to be really cool when I first did this. Here's a very uninteresting fact for you as well. This is the first ever practice session I watched live on ITV, because back then we didn't really have access to the internet much. So Lucas goes across the line and he goes 5th fastest on the Williams in the wins. Only one man is on the ultra soft tyres at the moment, and that is BP. But I think that he's just trying it out, as we got Samster out now. So the big guns are now starting to come out. Well, to be honest, all these guys are big guns, aren't they? As Nigel's in the pits. Geordie is out on the Hypersoft as well, so he's on the sprinting surprise. Now here comes Lennon, of course, in the Haas, the American team. So he's just coming up to the Anson Bridge as well now. You see there's a couple of modifications on this track. That used to be a couple of, go a little bit deeper. That corner is very hard to get right, lap after lap after lap. And now he's entering sector 3 as well. Now he's done 26.4 in this second sector there, Lennon has. The back end slowing out there, the tyres at the rear end of the tyres are firm. Is this track more firm on deck? If it is, then of course the rear tyres are going to really start to scream in pain in terms of heat. And now just coming through the final couple of corners, and you can see look all the highways going on. Drivers, remember, used to report around here that all the electric currents used to affect the cars. We'll go back to that in a minute, because I think Lennon's going to go fast, as he does go fast on the Hypersoft tyres. Brilliant time there from Lennon. So he's going for more of an attacking approach here. Of course, Geordie's on the Hypersoft as well, so this is where we're going to see some rapid times here. Watching the Ferrari of Samster. He is second in the championship, I believe. Of course, both Ferrari drivers have been absolutely immense this season. They really have. And of course, Samster did miss a couple of races, but he's still there or thereabouts on the championship, isn't he? Both Samster and Slim have done an amazing job for Ferrari. They've been the best team, haven't they? And they are. It is shown in the constructors. They are quite a distance in front of the second place team. We had a McLaren out in front there. We're just going to watch Geordie. He's over the Anderson Bridge now. Of course, he's still got his Nicky Lauda tribute helmet, so that's a good touch as well. Coming then just out of the Anderson Bridge now and down Raffles Boulevard, I think this is. Got a yellow flag out there. Of course, we keep an eye out for yellow flags in the race because, as you can see, the barriers are so close together. It's very difficult to get out of the way. But also, oh, look how close he was there. You can see a bit like Monaco. This track is that you want to get very close to the barriers as you can. You can see this last barrier. I think Vettel you used to have to rub the barrier to get a good time, but Geordie wasn't very far away from that barrier either. He's good, looking very good. Geordie is, and he goes fast. It's on a 1:35 flat. That's 4/10 quicker than Lennon. Good time there from Geordie. Of course, he's improving, isn't he? Geordie is. We've seen some brilliant racing from Geordie. I must admit, the one in racing in Germany, I really enjoyed it, to be honest. So, yeah, of course, he did get his elbows out there, but yeah, I suppose it's all's fair in love and war, isn't it? So we're now on board then with Samster. His teammate we haven't seen his teammate yet. He's leaving it till the last minute, Slimmers, but he's a cool customer, isn't he, Slimmers? He usually likes to wait to the end. Remember, their championship rivals Vanquish is at the moment starting best of 9. I'm not sure if he retired just because he retired as a Samster goes third fastest on the soft tyre there. Really putting a benchmark down there. We've got a very nice variety of strategy out there as well, as he just decides that turn 1 and 2 is just not for him, is it? As he just goes straight across. Yeah, so at the moment then, the guys, we have got 2 guys out there at the moment. Slim and Nigel haven't set a representative time as of yet. We're just watching Jamie, who was on a provisional pole, wasn't he, not so long ago. We've got 4 minutes to go. And this is, remember, it's a long lap as well. So Nigel and Slim would like to... Oh, he's hit the wall. That was quite a big clout as well. Has he damaged his end plate there? Just on a quick look. Coming down the back straight now. Because of the famous turn 7 there, we've seen a lot of action there. I think Hamilton and Webber comes to mind there. Excuse me. Yeah, Hamilton and Webber comes to mind now. Of course, really, yeah. I like both those drivers there, so I was quite. I was a Hamilton fan, but I was a Webber fan as well. I love Mark Webber, straight talking. On board Jamie Locals, I think that was quite a heavy clout with the wall. I'm trying to see if he's damaged his car. I might need to go to Specsavers on this one, as might have got away with it. And there's probably people screaming at me now, like, no, he's damaged his car, yeah, well, I can't see it. So he's still on the pace. He's on the ultra soft tires. This is the middle range tire. So at the moment we've got a bit of a jumbled up strategy, which is great to see. So they're all not following each other, so look how close that is. Actually the closest I've seen anyone get towards the exit of turn 22 there. Comes across the line. What is Jamie? He goes fastest, so obviously he didn't damage himself at all. Basically I'm just talking nonsense, which is one with the first order last time, and that's a 1:34.4 on the ultra soft tires there. So Jamie looking very strong in this race once again. Of course he looked strong in Monza as well, didn't he? So we got some really good drivers. It's really coming into this elite league now, isn't it? Of course, might have the fan favourite of Blaz in the league next season, as I keep seeing in the chat. As of course Blaz, who's doing a great job in Super. And remember, that's a beautiful way. That's good for me to lead on to the Super League. Is also the same time tomorrow. Also the same track here at Singapore. So when I remember that I used to. When I was driving for Super before I got kicked out for being too slow, and I think to my teammates joy as well. So yeah, it's to my teammates joy as well. Yeah, it's I used to watch the Elite League and always used to try and copy their strategy. Never worked. So it took me about 7-8 races to realise that doesn't actually work, because I'm just too slow to do the same strategy as these guys. So because these guys, you tend to do a one-stop strategy, which it does. It's simple on paper, but it really isn't, because you got to keep the tires in play. So we're just watching Lennon, who's in third at the moment. I'm just taking a look to see who else is out there. One board is Jamie there. He's run out of fuel. Nigel's out there on an outlap. Where is he? He is just coming down to turn. Well, it used to be the Singapore Sling. That used to be a great corner that did. until they changed it. I think it was back in 2013 they changed that. Such a shame, really. I love that one. Slim is not going to come out on track, so Slim will be starting from the back if Nigel doesn't get his time in. We're on board Crazy Power now, so he's just about to start his lap, so we're going to have fast and furious action as well. So this is the kind of action that Vin Diesel's going to be happy with. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm going to watch NWB now. He's on the ultra soft tyres. So how is he going to improve? So he's just in the middle sector. We got Andy, who is just starting, is going to start a lap. Who else we got? BP. We've got a lot of initials in this, haven't we? BP is on the Sauber. He's just starting a lap. Sam is also starting a lap. Lennon's starting a lap as well. So here we go then. Who's the first one across? So we're going to watch Crazy Power. No, yet we're going to watch. Who is the first? Oh, I don't know. I think it's BP, and he's up to 5th now. So good time there from BP. NWB then is the session's finished then. So this is it then. You can cross the line, but Slim then is finished. So's Jamie and so's Geordie. So Jamie and Geordie are on the front row at the moment. So that's a good time from both those guys. But are they going to stay there? Track is rubbered in nicely. Remember, they've only got one qualifying session in this for this Singapore Grand Prix. As it comes around the final corner, 23. What does NWB do? He goes full fast, so he's on the second row of the grid. Then NWB is so in the number 12 Force India. Good time there from NWB. We've got Samster and Lucas a bit close for comfort there. Andy there, as they're both on a time now, so really it's difficult to. Nigel's retired, so Nigel is not going to. Oh, Nigel's really retired as well. He's in the wall, and oh, there's a Ferrari in the wall as well. That's Samster in the wall. He is down to his end plate, and unfortunately for Samster, he would be as high as 5th, and he parks it. He parks it nicely, but that is a big blow there for Samster. What about Lennon then? Lennon in the final sector now. Then we're on board with Lennon in the Haas. We got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. That's why, because that's the Sauber just crawling out the way. So good stuff there from the Sauber. I think that was BP, who is starting alongside Samster. We're on board with Lennon. He's coming through the final couple of corners now. We're on the 22 and 23. Here's 22. Here's 23. Kept it well inside the track limits. And what does he do? Lennon goes second fastest, so he's just displaced Geordie. And that was on the Hypersoft tyres as well. We've got a Williams in the background as well. That's Lucas in car 4. Goes full fastest. We've got a Sauber who's just coming through now. BP, who's just crawling across the line. And I think that's it. So, well, what a qualifying session there. So we'll go for the grid at the minute, but unfortunately for Samster, it was just the outside the Anderson Bridge, wasn't it, where he caught his end plate. That's how easy it is to damage your car, and if you do damage your car, then it's awful understeer, which will cause you all kinds of headaches. So we're just waiting for the guys to load up. And there it is then. So we've got on the ultra soft is Jamie, hyper soft for Lennon, hyper soft for Geordie, ultra soft for NWB and for Lucas and Andy. Then we've got soft tire for Samster, BP, Crazy Power and Vanquish. And of course Slim and Nigel will be choosing their strategy now. What strategy will they go towards? I would probably say soft tires really, but they obviously wanted to have a choice and decide on what their rivals were doing now. So yeah, good strategy. It would have been nice to have seen them out there, but yeah, of course, remember, you don't get points in the qualifying, you get points in the race. So there's the guys who are now just picking their strategies, picking their fuel as well. We ain't going to have any Mercedes being represented in this race there. You can see that we've got the garages of Hamilton and Bottas, which are empty. That's unfortunate. So if you look how narrow the pit lane is here, of course this is one of the newer tracks as well, and usually on the newer tracks we kind of had like 3 lanes, don't we, in the pit lane. We have like the fast lane, and then we have like the apron, and then the pit box itself. So yeah, it's very narrow in the pit lane. I think it's one of the slower pit lanes as well. I think it's 50 kph. My kilometers is not very good. Anyway, yeah, we're just waiting for the drivers to ready up now then. So yeah, we've got no rain as it was as Lucas very nicely informed us, so that was good. So here we go then. So we've got a formation lap. So to be honest, it looks like that these guys are just having fun on the formation lap, but this is quite a serious one of the most important laps you're going to do. You can see, look at that, 31 laps you got to do around here. This is one of the longer, as we said, this is an endurance race, this is, so this is the closest you're going to get to endurance racing in the Formula 1. So it's going to be a very long, hot, sticky lap. This is a very long, hot, sticky race, this is, as they're just on board with the leader then. So let's just go for the grid one more time then, whilst these guys are warming up their tyres. You can see, so we've got Jamie on pole position, looking very strong again. Lennon, brilliant job there in second position. He's on the front row. He's going to get a better launch, isn't he, on those Hypersoft tyres. Same for Geordie as well in third position. We know how good Geordie is at defending, and he'll be third, but he would like to, he'll probably looking forward on those Hypersoft tyres. But how long are those Hypersoft tyres going to last? There's only 2 drivers on them. NWB, of course, one of the newbies, is in a 4th position in the Force Indy. He's on the Ultrasoft tyres. Lucas is in 5th position in the Williams. 6th position is Co-Andy, who is in the McLaren. Then this is where the soft tyres come in. So Samster, who was improving but unfortunately hit the Anderson Bridge just around this part of the track here. He is 7th. We got BP is in 8th position in the Sauer. 9th position is Crazy Power. Vanquish is 10th, the championship leader, of course. So we're going to be seeing some races for Vanquish today, and the same as Samster. We got Slim in 11th position, and of course who's on the ultra soft tyres there for Slim. So Slim is going a different way than to the guys around him, so he should have a better launch. And Nigel is in 12th position. So we're just on board with Jamie. Then we're coming to the final part of the lap. Then very tight part of the lap. This is what this is where Ricardo crashed in 2012, I believe. No, 2013 before going to the Red Bull team a year later. And coming into the chicane course under there, I think is where a tram runs, I think, or a train of some kind. And of course that caused Felipe Massa's car to retire. We shouldn't have no problems here tonight with that kind of issues. Now coming into the final couple of corners now, you can see the pit entrance there. It's very tight to get into. You've got to take a tighter exit there, and then we're on to the start and finish straight. The only permanent part to the track, I believe. I think so anyway. Yeah, this part is, and the rest is all like on roads similar to Monaco. Here we go then for the Singapore Grand Prix. 31 laps around this track. As I said, this is the closest we're going to get to endurance. We've gone through the tyres, so here we go then for the Singapore Grand Prix then. We'll have 5 sets of lights go on. When we go out, we'll be racing here in Singapore at Marina Bay, and where lights are out, and away we go. Good start there from Jamie, good start there from Lennon. We can see, oh, and look at that, so Ferrari out right in the way, and good start from Jamie as well, getting a perfect launch, but the Haas is in the side of him there, and Haas was just having a quick look, but it was just more of a rub together there, as they're all through safely, so that's good to see. Oh, I'm getting very close out of the 2 Ferraris, and we're on board then with Slim, who's had a brilliant start, an excellent start there from Slim. Both Salvers have dropped down to the back of the field, unfortunately. Amazing start from Slim there, and he's really fighting tooth and nail. Of course, he was on the ultra soft as well, compared to the guys who are on the soft tyres around him. As both Ferraris are flying through the field, flying off the grid. And Vanquish is at 1 as well, but Slim has had a brilliant start into the race here. As you can see, then we've got both Salvers on the back of the field. Then, so as you can see, then we've got Jamie, who's pulling away at the moment. So good stuff from Jamie. Of course, he's on the supposedly slower tyre, but looking very comfortable out there in the McLaren. Very comfortable indeed, Jamie is. Of course, remember, he did very well in Monza, didn't he, last week? Is just coming over the Anderson Bridge now. So Jamie leads, second is Lennon, third is Geordie. We've got Lucas in 4th position, Samster making up some decent positions in 5th position. Then we've got NWB drop down 2 positions. Co-Andy remains 7th, I think. Just shows my bad memory. Slim up 3, so Slim's had the big look at that lovely camera shot there, just seeing the plank there of the car. So you don't see the plank off it, and Co-Andy's in the wall there, and he's damaged the end plate, so that is going to cause some awful problems for Co-Andy. Of course, he's on the ultra soft tyre, and we had a bit of a lunge there, did we? On Lucas. Oh, and Lucas is also in the wall as well, and look, the Ferrari all over the back of all over the back is Jamie said to fast up the race, but his teammate is under a lot of pressure at the moment as Co-Andy goes out wide. As lap 1 completed, then the gap is up to 1.8 seconds already. Impressive stuff. And then in comes Vanquish, Nigel, and both Salvers, and dropping down at 3 positions. So not a very good start for the Salvers. So that's the end of lap 1. As you can see, they're all bunched up. So this is good stuff. Apart from Jamie, and we've got an amazing battle from second down to 8th, and then we got another group between Vanquish, Nigel, Crazy Power, and now he's going on the outside. Remember, there's no DRS yet, so this is a good old-fashioned overtaking maneuver there, and he's up into 7th position. Well done to Slim. He's flying through the field. NWB is going very close out to Samster. Remember, there's going to be Yeah, I'm impressed with Jamie at the moment because remember he's on the supposedly slower tyre. Of course, Lennon did have a very good start, didn't he? He got alongside Jamie, but Jamie hung it out, and very brave stuff from both of those guys there. A bit of rubbing, but nothing too major. There's a Geordie now all going a bit wide there, and Lucas is smelling blood in the water there. And you can see we've got a bit of a good old train going there now. So this is going to get interesting. NWB there just behind him. He's the meat in the Ferrari sandwich at the moment in the 5th, 6th and 7th. Andy unfortunately has got damage to his car, so I think he's going to really struggle with understeer. Now back on board Slim. He's at the rear of this pack at the moment, but he's sitting nicely. So he chose not to go out in qualifying as Slim didn't, so he will be on fresh ultra soft tyres, so all the other tyres in front of him have done at least a lap, and that may not sound like a lot, but it is around this circuit. Jamie says a new fast lap of the race, and the gap after 3 laps is up to 4.1 seconds. Amazing stuff. We've got Lucas who's on the inside coming into turn one. We've got a beautiful shot there, but Lucas there, Geordie there, just keeping it running outside. We've now got Force India going a bit wide, and I'm not sure what happened there. Was that contact? I'm not sure, but Slim definitely got out of it. I don't think there is from the Ferrari, as it's getting now all of a sudden it's getting very juicy now, and of course DRS is now available and Geordie's now on the outside. We've got on board Lucas then coming down the Raffles Boulevard now, and he's in the middle. Oh, that's going to be dangerous. Of course, he's gone very wide into turn 3, and this is getting a bit of banging wheels there, a bit of barging. He's in the wall. Lucas is trying to hang out straw on the outside there, and he is. Oh, yeah. So now the third Samster is up in the 4th position. Remember, he's on the soft tyre, so he's looking very good. Samster is. Remember, he cannot rush because he doesn't want to damage himself. Co-Andy is, we've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and that's why it's Lucas. He's just, I think he's doing a good job there to get out of the way. Very sportsmanlike there from Lucas. Fair play. I've never done that, to be honest. I'm not very sportsman. As Samson now comes up to 3rd position, sides his way past Lennon, and trying to brush Lennon out wide there, but Lennon doing a very good job. He's all over the back of Samson, isn't he? But he's got a challenge, not quite, and now NWB is all over the back of Lennon. Although his Hypersoft's gone already. But we did hear a couple of guys say that the Hypersoft was the car to stay away from, but yeah, certainly after 3 laps, that's really they're really going to struggle, isn't it? The question is, what tire's going to go on? So then coming in the pits now, he's hanging it out for another couple of laps then. But you can see we've got a train coming up behind him now. Whoa, look at the blah! Amazing stuff. As you can see, we've got both Saubers also fighting as well. So at the inside, NWB goes, and he is up into 4th position. Runs a bit wide, as does Lennon as well. And now what can Slim do? Did Slim get damaged when he was caught up in the Co-Andy is right back up, but he's right interested in this now. Remember, of course, DRS, so we got the first Ferrari of Samster, who's 2nd in the championship at the moment. And Vanquish is 8th at the moment. He hasn't really made much progress, but remember, he's a very patient man, Vanquish, isn't he? He comes out of nowhere. It's like an RKO. Oh dear. Samster now in 3rd position, so he didn't get by. Slim is still behind Lennon as well. I think Geordie's doing a good job on those ultra soft tyres, so he hasn't lost any positions. Oh, now Lennon's going to have a bit of troubles coming down into what used to be the Singapore Sling. And I think Slim now kind of said that was not going to happen in a month of Sundays there. As look at how much the car is sliding, how much traction Slim has got here. So is he going to do the switch back here on board with him now? And you see, look at that, he's just got so much more traction. So is he just going to breeze by coming down into, and he's on the outside though, and Lennon there, he's got past there, Lennon. Geordie has also got passed by the 2nd Ferrari as well, so both Ferraris showing the traction and the lack of traction which the Hypersoft users are getting at the moment. So Geordie is now down into a 3rd position, but he's done a good job, Geordie has. I do sing his praises with Geordie. There's a Co-Andy all over the back of Lennon now. You can see now we've got another train now behind Lennon. Is Lennon going to come in the pits this time around? We're going to keep an eye on the pit lane. There's Renault and the Haas mechanics out. There's a Renault in the pit, so Geordie is in the pits. Lennon stays out for another lap, so 5 laps those Hypersofts have done. Is that going to I think I might put him on a 2-stop strategy possibly. Coandy up into 5th now, but of course remember he's got damage. Vanquish, the championship leader, is all over the back of Lennon now. He would like to start to get cracking now, because he's on the soft tyre, so he is on more of a, he's more playing the long-term game here. Lennon goes wide again, and now Vanquish gets in front of him before even the DRS, and Nigel's going to follow him through as well. Oh, this is getting a bit tasty, isn't it, coming down? Oh, and Lennon Meringue is kind of sorted himself in the middle there. That's brilliant stuff. He's going to go on the outside. Nigel's on the inside here. Got a bit of a lock up there, but Lennon keeps his position. I thought Nigel was going to follow him through there, but not quite there. So Lennon's still in front of Nigel. Lucas and Geordie are at the back of the field at the moment. Lucas is on the soft tyre. Geordie is on the ultra soft tyres. Now he's going to go on the inside outside. Oh, that's good. He was going to grimace there. And whoa, look at that. He was going he's all over the back and coming into the Anderson Bridge now. He's going on the outside. Look at that. That is amazing stuff. Oh, no. He's staying on the inside there. Good racing from both these guys. That is quality races. Dare I say it, the elite racing. That's amazing stuff. Now got Sauber all over the back as well. And that's BP. He's having a good look there because BP, both Saubers are on the soft tyre. So they're like Vanquish, are going for the longer game. And coming into the end of lap 5 now. 11 seconds the gap is between NWB and, as NWB is in front of Samster. So whilst we've been watching the battle at the back, NWB is snuck by Samster. Remember, NWB is on the softer compound tyre. He's on the ultra soft tyre. I expect Lennon to come in the pits now, and he does. So Lennon is ended his suffering there, and Coandy in the pits as well. And now we got both for Slim is through. So Slim is now up into third position. So Slim is now he's going to chase after NWB in the battle for second. Then so both Ferraris have done a great job to come through the field there, and also Vanquish as well. So good stuff from both Force Indias and both Ferraris. Jamie is 12 seconds in front. Can these guys catch up to Jamie? So Geordie is now up into ninth position, whilst Coandy and Lennon are both in the pits. Lovely aerial shot there. You can see that's the second part of the track there, just in the background. Now then coming down into the Singapore Sling again, even though it's not called a Singapore Sling, but you know, I live in the past. And NWB then is as Lennon is out. It's getting very close between Lennon and that's how close it is. It's very close between Lennon and Lucas here. Oh, you see, look at the understeer there between Lennon and Lucas. That's because he was too close to the car in front, but he has got DRS now. He's got a lot of errors. And how's he going to... Well, he's too far back, I think, from that, unless he's going to have a good old lunge, which I don't think he is. But look at the closing speed there. Very late on the brakes. Both Saubers are, once again, they're like tied to a piece of string as well, and they can't just stay away from each other at BP and Crazy Power. Good stuff. Just having a look up and down the field. So the battle, and Nigel's got a 3 second, but that's the first penalty we've had in 6 laps. So that's been very good, very clean from all these guys. Going through the final sector now. So the gap is still 12 seconds. It's now 11 seconds. There's NWB multiple warnings, and so this is where the penalties now going to start to come to. Look at the gap then. Vanquish is 4 seconds back. Remember, he is on the Samster and Vanquish are both on the soft tyre. So they're both on the same strategy. So Slim wants to make hay whilst the sun is shining, even though it's not shining tonight, and try and get in front of NWB so he can. Because remember, he's going to be on the slower tyre, isn't he? But those guys behind him are going to be on the faster tyre, so he needs to stretch out that lead as such. But NWB is not a slow driver, because he's really eating into Jamie's lead there, isn't he? He's now down to 11.2 seconds. So Jamie has been watching a bit lovely shot there. You can see the Marina Bay, can't you? So water all around us, as a famous Singapore building there. I can't remember if it said Parliament or not. As you can tell, I've done my research. Now on board then, we're going once again with Slim. He's a bit of a star of the show so far, isn't he? We've still got both Saubers, Lyle and Stern. We've also got the battle between Lucas and Lennon at the moment, who are just outside the pools. Well done to all these drivers that have kept going so far in this race. So remember, it's a very long race this is, so anything can happen. We can have safety cars, we can have virtual safety cars, we can have all sorts. Whoa, and Lucas there, I'm not sure what happened there. He's damaged his end plate there, Lucas has, so it might be another trip to the pit lane, unfortunately for Lucas. And just coming back into the battle between Slim and NWB here. Good stuff from both these guys. The gap is down to 10 seconds now. Is these guys just generally quicker than Jamie? Because remember, they're on the same sort of... they're on exactly the same... Oh, NWB there. I thought he was going into the wall then. Lovely shot here at the of the from the side of the cockpit there. Unfortunately, we always see him as a lot of the Halo. Nicky Lauda was really one man really against the Halo, wasn't he, when it was first introduced? Of course, IndyCar are going for the area screen, aren't they? Which is which is one of the things that Red Bull was suggesting. Whoa! And now he's going on the inside, coming to turn 7, and there would be losing room. See, look at it. Whoa! And I thought he was in the great save there from Slim there, and of course lighting up the rears there. As is he getting frustrated, or is he just feeling? Well, these guys are still catching in on the leader Jamie at the moment, so he can't get too frustrated at the moment. Of course, Jamie is still 9 seconds out in the lead. Maybe he's just starting to preserve his tyres, perhaps. Both Saubers still under, well, just over a second now between each other, so good stuff there. And again, line up the rears, Slim is. As you can see now, he's got a lot of ERS in this car, but that's the complete opposite to NWB. Look at the ERS. Down in the right hand side, you can see that that's the telemetry, and you can see how little he's got. He's starting to harvest that ERS. And the second Ferrari, now the soft tyres now starting to come into their own, because they are, Samster is now only a second and a half back. So that's, I think that's not really what Slim wanted. Vanquish is only 3 seconds back as well now. So now they're starting to concertina together. Well, almost. Jamie is still out in front, but remember, these guys have been closing him down now on lap 9 out of 31. And once again, NWB going to the middle of the track there. So he is still harvesting. He needs to harvest a bit more, because look at that. Slim has got a lot of ERS left in this car. I'm wondering if I would be trying to overtake NWB as quick as possible, because it feels like he's being held up here. GRC is now available. He has put his ERS up quite a bit now, so he's having a look. This is one of the better spots for overtaking, down into turn 7. He's having a look, but to he wasn't really close there. NWB was also, I'm not sure if he was jolting there a bit. I'm not sure if it was his connection, but it didn't feel like a sure thing, did it? As you can see that. Oh, Slim gone wide again there. And of course, the more you're beyond the car, the more you're hurting the tyres from sliding and all the understeer. And yeah, so it's a very, and this track is very hard on your tyres anyway, in terms of, I wouldn't say it's the hardest on it, but it's just the amount of punishment you have on these tyres, because of all these cornering speed, well, not cornering speeds, all the corners that you're just turning left, right. Vanquish there was getting very close to the wall. First time I don't really see a Vanquish slide the car often, but I just seen a quick glimpse of a pink car in the background, and of the Force India getting very close to the wall. Back on board then with a Slim. Lovely on board footage we're getting today from the Ferraris, and it's great to see. It's great to see both Ferraris there. Hopefully we can. Oh yeah, because they had a bit of an appalling race, didn't they, last time out? Unfortunately, they didn't capitalise on Vanquish's absence, but hopefully they can get themselves back on track today. Of course, Vanquish though is just there in the background. He's like a shark, isn't he? Just you can hear the Jaws theme, can't you? As both Ferraris are trying to stretch that, but Vanquish is still 3 seconds back, and yeah, Slim will be feeling that he's losing time. But as I keep stressing though, they are still catching. It's now down to 8.4 between first and second at the moment, as they come down the back straight once again and coming into turn 7 once again. Look at that, he's got much more. He's going up the inside, he's having a look, and NWB gives himself plenty of room. He's going to have a look on the outside. Of course, I think Schumacher and Verne had a bit of an incident down there. He's now into turn 9, coming up to turn 10 now, or I'm sure it must be turn 11 and 12 down here. So now he's having a that would have been very brave stuff, to be honest, because they tightened up this chicane in recent years. Now it's under a second between Slim's teammate Samster, so Samster second in the championship. He's probably thinking that this. Oh, did BP hit the wall there? He may have done. He's on the other side, but Slim going on the outside there. He's now going to try and cut back and go on the inside. These guys are still on the ultra soft tyres. The top 3 on ultra soft tyres. The rest of the field is on the soft tyres, so that is Samster, Vanquish, Nigel as well as still in the mix. Crazy Power and the Saubers, you can't count them guys out either. Geordie has gone on the ultra soft tyre, and the other guys are Co, Andy, Lennon and Lucas, who's in the pits. is on the soft tyre, and I'm not sure if did the Ferrari hit the wall there. The Force India's in the pits, and I'm not sure if now of course you got slow right down. This is a very slow pit lane, so NWB is the first man of the leaders to pit. Did the Ferrari hit the wall? He did, but I think he's got away with it. So but Slim has now been released, but is it too little too late? Where is NWB going to come out of the pits? Well, he's gone, so that's a good sign. So he's coming out the pits now, and where's Geordie? Is Geordie going to well, we've still got a great shot of the Force India team there, but we'd rather send Geordie. Geordie is through and is up into 8th position. NWB comes out in 9th position, so Geordie is still a factor in this race, isn't he? So at the moment, if when Slim comes in as well, he's going to be behind Geordie. And Slim then is now his teammate's going to be all over the back of him. He's 0.8 of a second back, Samster is. And we got to give props out because these two have been one of the better teammates we've seen this season. It's been amazing to see the teamwork these guys are in. And remember, both these guys are challenging for the championship as well. So it's really good to see. I think the F1, some of the F1 drivers might need to take a leaf out of these guys' books. Who am I thinking of? Well, you could think of a lot of drivers, couldn't you? Hamilton and Rosberg. Maybe we've also got Lewis Hamilton and Alonso back in 2007. So yeah, now but as you can see, Slim has now been released, and he's now starting to pull away from Samsung. But Vanquish is now under 2 seconds away. So Vanquish is still reeling these guys in. We've got a 3-second penalty for Lucas there, who's had a bit of a miserable race there, down in 12th position at the moment. NWB there is come out in 9th position, and Slim is in the pits now, and he's got a 5-second stop and go penalty. That is a major problem there. We're on lap 12 out of 31. He's in the pits. That is a stop go penalty. Remember, this pit lane does catch you out quite it comes up, the line comes up quite quickly, so that does catch you out. We've also got the no, that's the Sauber coming out now. Geordie should come out in front. Yeah, there is Geordie now. So what about NWB then? So Ferrari comes out the pit lane now. He's been released. We're on board then. There's NWB then. He swoops through and into 8th position. So Slim is down to 9th position there behind Geordie, and Geordie of course is on the ultra soft tyre, so he is still a factor in this race. So you can't count Geordie out yet in the Renault. So this is going to be very interesting. The undercut I don't think is that powerful around here, is it? Well, it could be. Usually, but I would say that lock up there, you don't really want to be doing that on your tyres early on. The Jamie's still out there trying to see he could almost do anything, but he's got such a buffer over Samster. But not only that, NWB and Slim as well. So if he comes into the pits now, he will come out in front of Geordie. So is he going to want to clear Geordie? But remember, he would be stuck beyond the 2 Saubers. That's how bunched up it is. Is he coming into the pits? He is coming into the pits. So he's just mirroring what his rivals are doing of NWB and Slim. So this is going to be interesting to see where he comes out and how. Of course, he's slowed down there. So remember now, Slim does have a 5-second penalty. And look at Vanquish there. Vanquish is now definitely in the mirrors, and a Samster is now down to 1.1 seconds. Vanquish is it's just been driving around very well, I would say cautiously, but I have seen the back end step out quite a bit. There's Nigel's now in 3rd. Both Saubers are 4th and 5th. And James coming out of the pits now as I think he might slot into the gap. He should. No, he ain't. He's going to be out as Lennon Moran's got a penalty. So Geordie is in front of NWB. I know Jamie's lost the de facto lead. That's incredible. So that is the undercut, the power of the undercut. So basically, I just in a way, NWB just answered my question there. So NWB is in front of Jamie. So Jamie had such a big lead. And do you reckon that would give him a 4 sense of security? I'm not sure. They'd definitely give me a 4 sense of security. Now we're on board with Slim, and of course he's got his tyres heated up. Jamie is now just getting used to the grip of the soft tyres. Remember, he's been on the ultra soft up until this point as well. As you see, look how compact the track is there. And now we're coming into turn 9. We've got 3-second penalty there for BP. I'll give a good shout out for these guys in terms of penalties so far. It's been awesome. We've only had a couple of penalties so far. Hopefully I haven't put the commentator's curse on it. Vanquish is now only 9/10 away from Samster, so he's been hunting down Samster. This could be a great win for Vanquish, because he started 10th on the grid, and of course I think the lowest person that's ever won this was Alonso, 2008, wasn't it, where he started 15th on the grid, I believe. Yeah, we've got to keep an eye out for the lead there. Jordy, NWB is now all over the back of Jordy. Jordy's done 8 laps on those ultra soft tyres, so they're past their best. And we've also got Jamie and the Ferrari also. Jamie and the Ferrari also in the background there. So I think NWB needs to. At the moment, he is the de facto leader, as far as I can see, but I could be completely wrong. So it makes it more exciting when I'm wrong, isn't it? Which will be, that's probably why I was hired. And so is we're on board now with Jordy. Then is sorry, not Jordy. We're on board with NWB. He's having a look. Slim has got another penalty there, so the penalty is now starting to wrap up for the Ferrari driver. Slim needs to that's going that space, wouldn't it? Yeah, I was going to say Jordy did leave him quite a nice bit of room there. Of course, Jordy, we seen in Hockenheim how good he is at defending. And as whoa, oh gosh, very close out now. He's going to go on the outside. Jordy gives him space just about. Is that going to cause? He's staying on the outside now, but this is causing all sorts of time issues there for the guys behind, because NWB is now going to be not too far away from Jamie, because Jamie, there he is, Jamie's there or thereabouts in a 7th position. He's going to go on the outside as well. This could end in disaster. No, yet he's hanging out on the outside. He's got the inside for the chicane there. As Jordy there doing a good job there. Great racing from all these guys here. So of course, whoa, and Slim's going to have a look, because Jamie went a bit wide there, but he's going to try the undercut. No, not quite. And yeah, great racing for all those guys. They've no contact at all. That was awesome stuff. Now Jamie sides at the inside. He's gone wide. He's outbraked himself, and that was that a desperate manoeuvre he didn't need to do. There was definitely pressure on there, wasn't there? Because Slim was in the background. They're just keeping tabs as Vanquish is now under 5/10 there. We're going to just go to Vanquish, and Slim, you can see they're coming down. They're going to come. Ooh. As Nigel's still 5 seconds back at the moment. I'm not sure who to watch, to be honest. So we're going to flip between these couple of drivers at the moment. As Slim there, as Jordy's got a 3-second penalty as well. So Vanquish has now got DRS, and he's come down to turn 7. And turn 7 is probably one of the better overtaking points. He's having a look. Not quite a good defending there from. Great defending there from Samster there. Now we're just staying with the second Ferrari then, as Samster. Remember, he's got a stop-go penalty if he pits again. On lap 15, we're just coming up to half distance, remind you guys. So it's, as I said, this is a very long old race. He's on the outside of Jordy. He's locked up there. He's gone a bit wide, but he's stayed on the outside, and Jordy is just not letting. Oh my gosh! Jordy there, keeping the car there or thereabouts. So we got Jamie just Jamie's hit the back of the Ferrari. That is going to cause. He's lost his end plate there, Jamie. That is disappointing from Jamie. So that is going to cause him all sorts of understeer. That is not very good at all. Oh dear, that's not good at all. And well, Jordy really holding his own there. So good defending. Unfortunately, Jamie, we've seen him outbrake himself just down here last lap around. And unfortunately, and now he's behind Slim, and he's also damaged the front wing as well. So it's not going well for Jamie, who was leading this race, wasn't he, to come into the pits. So for the first 11 laps, Jamie, lovely camera shot again. Jamie was oh no! You can see he turned in a bit too tight on the chicane, and because on the second part of the chicane there, he couldn't open the steering wheel enough there, and he almost went to the wall. Yeah, the soft tires are going to go still a bit longer, because we're only just over half distance. The soft tires should make it to half distance, but how long are the ultra soft tires going to last now? As we come in once again, and Vanquish is all over the back of all over the back of Samstar, I should say. As you can see coming into turn 8 there. Yeah, I think these guys need to. We need to have a bit more scripted, I think, because it's a khaki well these guys. Oh, and Jordy there getting a bit of wheel spin on there. Now he's down on the inside. He'll be on the outside of turn 7 now. But he should have his speed. Is Jordy gonna have a look? He's gone very deep. He's gone ultra deep there, and that's let Jamie through there. And that's he's locked up twice. That contact between the McLaren and the Ferrari. And Jamie's now going to have a side through the inside. He does. Slim's dropped down. I think he might let him through, but he's damaged his front wing there. And I think I was wondering if Geordie might have should have given up the position there maybe. And I'd like to know what you guys. Oh, the wings completely gone off the McLaren. That is a massive hit there from Jamie, and that is going to definitely need a pit stop there. And and there's his teammate there, Co-Andy in the background. There's Geordie there, and the Ferrari is still fighting it out. That is a big blow for Jamie, and oh dear, oh poor Jamie. And you can see got a bit of end plate there as well. Wow. To be honest, it was getting a bit feisty, and we were saying up until a certain point of how well they were driving, but unfortunately it's this track, isn't it? This track is very difficult, isn't it? And it can frustrate you. It's like Monaco, and if anyone ever seen my race, please don't. Oh, now Jamie's facing the wrong. No, he ain't facing the wrong way, is he? No, he's Is he reversing into retirement? I'm trying to work it. He's got a puncher, and oh yeah, he has got a puncher. Sorry, I'm very confused. And Slim's in the pits. NWB is up into 5th position now. So NWB is now Simon through field. He's in front of the one in the Sauber. So he's in the meet in the Sauber sandwich. Then out comes Slim now. Jamie is still coming back to the pit. So he's got a rear. That's a puncture on the rear left there, isn't it? So you can see, look how tight, look how hard it is coming. That is such a shame. He's now got a driver, and he's now got a and talking of which, so whilst that was going on, I've missed the change in the lead. So Vanquish now leads the race. Samster has dropped down to 2nd then, so it's a bit of been a difficult couple of laps then for the Ferrari drivers. So Samster has now dropped down to 2nd, up into 5th now is NWB. So at the moment he's our de facto leader. Then we've got BP, then Geordie is in 7th position, Co-Andy is 8th, and he's catching Geordie now. So that's our next battle we're going to see. It's between these guys here. Slim is now out of the pits, repair his car, and he's on the ultra soft tires now till the end of the race. Lucas is now 11th position. We've got no retirement, so that's good stuff. And now Vanquish is now coming up to lap Jamie. Of course, that's awful, isn't it, to see that? Because obviously not the fact that Jamie was in there, right up there, right battling for the lead, and unfortunately just a series of unfortunate events there for Jamie. So he is now back down to 12th. As we've got Lennon, as BP is in the pits then for the Sauber, and he's going on the ultra soft tires as well. So similar strategy to Slim now. As I'm hoping that is just a glitch. I'm hoping that is just me freezing. I don't think it. No, he's out. That's good. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of issues with the pit lane recently, of course, where drivers have been stuck in the pit. So BP out in 9th, so he's on the ultra soft tires. We're just now joined spot now. Samster is in the DRS zone of Vanquish, as Geordie is now being hounded now by Co-Andy for the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Remember, Geordie's on the ultra soft tires. I've got to keep an eye on the battle for the lead as well. But yeah, sorry, I'm flicking through here. Now he's going up into turn 10 here. Geordie very quick through turn 10 now into 11 and 12, and coming over the Anderson Bridge now. We've got 3 cars, 1, 2, 3. We've got Renault, McLaren and a Haas. Lionel Stern now then, you can see as taking on Waterline on, and I'm coming down to Raffles Boulevard. I'm sure that's Raffles Boulevard. Boulevard, yeah, like off Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, yeah. So everyone loves Green Day, don't they? And we're on board there, coming into the final sector now. Samster is in the pits then for the Ferrari team. Look how green those tires are. Now he's on a lovely set of fresh tires, and he comes out of the pits. At the moment, so Samster coming out of the pits. Remember, we've seen how powerful the undercut is. So he is deploying the undercut. Samster is. So is he going to be able to get into his? Geordie's now in the pit, so that finishes this battle here for now. And I wonder what tires Geordie's going to go on. He's going to go on another set of ultra softs, surely. So he's going on 2 slots right there, though. So this is not the end of the race for Geordie yet. He's going to be flying on the final stint of this lap. So Co-Andy and Geordie has left this battle between Co-Andy and Lennon. So and I think these guys they don't have to pit again, but I think they might have to pit again. Geordie coming on the pits now. Slim. It's such a shame to see Slim down there, isn't it? Really, another difficult race for the Ferrari driver, as BP is now out. Of the pits. No, he's already out of the pits. It was Geordie that was in the pits. So Slim 10. So Slim's got a point at least. And again, let's give a shout out to these guys. No retirements after 19 laps. Excellent stuff. And that's really good from these guys. Brilliant stuff. Now has Andy got the pace over Lennon, because remember he was being held up by Geordie slightly. And is he going to be able to pull away now? We keep it as Jamie sets the fastest lap of the race there, 1:37.7 on the Hypersoft tire. So I think he's just going to see if to see how his pace is. But we're going to join the leader, who is in the pit. So Vanquish is in the pit. Nigel takes the lead at the Singapore Grand Prix. So Nigel, who started right at the back, I believe, is now leading the race. That just shows how important strategy is and how incredible this race is. NWB is now up into third position in the Force India. Of course, he's going to have a challenge to keep off Vanquish and Samster on quicker tyres. Sam, look at that, that's how big the undercut is. So I got my information for tomorrow now for the Super League. The undercut is king, and that is a massive undercut. Look at that, 3.7 seconds is between the undercut. Remember, also on the soft tyres as well. So Samster there doing a good job there. Is he going to be able to get those tyres going for 11 laps around this racetrack? Vanquish will have just behind Vanquish is this battle here between 6th and 7th of Cole, Andy and Lennon. Are they going to go to the end on these tyres? Well, at the moment the guys up front have done 20 laps on these tyres, on the soft tyres. It's a bit of a push. Otherwise they're going to go to the Hypersoft to the end, didn't they? BP, of course, on the Hypersoft as well. It's 40 seconds back. Geordie is on the Autosoft as well, as is Slim. And Slim is now going. Looks like they might revisit their battle between Geordie and Slim there. 3-second penalty for Jamie. Of course, he was the leader of this race, but it looked like he did stay out a bit too long. But having said that, I thought that he would. I thought that he was doing a good thing as well. But maybe he should have mirrored. Maybe he should have mirrored what the guys did a couple of laps before. So at the moment, NWB is the de facto leader. Of course, he's on 9-lap soft tyres, so he's going to the end. But remember, Samster and Vanquish on the Autosoft tyres, so they will have a pace advantage. And NWB's got a penalty as well. I think that might, as Nigel's in the pits, also in the pits is Tracy Power as well. So NWB now takes the lead of the race. I think that's the first time he's leading this race, NWB. So he's been very patient. So Samster is second. He is 5.4 seconds back. We've got 10 laps to go. This is going to be a grand slam finish here in Singapore. Oh, he doesn't want to be doing that though. Slim's got no penalties. So the penalties are racking up for Slim. Vanquish. We've got Andy and Lennon are up into 4th and 5th. Good stuff. Nigel coming out of the pits now. So Nigel is now out in 6th position. Crazy Power out in 7th position. BP there is a long way back. Of course, he pitted 3 laps ago. Quite surprised at that. No, Geordie is now 9th position in the Renault. Of course, Geordie was up at the front on the Hypersoft tyres. I don't think that the two-stop strategy worked too well around here. And Slim is now well, he's not catching as quickly, and but Jamie's catching up to Lucas quite a bit. But both these guys are outside the points, but they've had difficult races. Excuse me. I really need to learn how to mute my mic. I think there's a switch on the button somewhere. A switch on the on the headset somewhere. But yeah, it doesn't have an on-off thing, so I might like switch off and then talk to myself. Which I suppose would be better for you guys, wouldn't it? And it's now we've got a yellow flagging sector 2. That's Slim. Slim is out of the race. So oh no, so Slim has had a his bad day comes to an end, and I think it's just out of turn 9. So Slim is out of the race. So he was only going to get a point, and that's a big shame for Slim. And yeah, it's not been his day here. We're on board. There's yellow flags around, and oh, he's in the middle of the track there. That was a bizarre. Unless he must have like hit the barrier and bounced back in. Of course, we have seen that, of course, with Rosberg and Monaco and stuff like that. So it depends how hard you hit the barrier. But that's a big shame for Slim. And you can see Nigel is hunting these guys down there as well. And then we'll have the both salvage in the background, just seeing Crazy Power come through. Samster is now under 3 seconds behind NWB. So we're just continuing this battle here between Lennon and Andy. Andy's done a good drive actually to after damaging his front wing early on. And I thought that would have really compromised his strategy, but he's done a good job, hasn't he? He's on 16-lap old soft tyres, and so is Lennon. So both these guys are on a similar strategy. They're going to go to the end now. So Jamie is now looking at a point at the moment. He is 2 seconds back. Nigel and Crazy Power are going to be joining this party in a minute. So, and also we've got Samster, NWB, and Vanquish all battling for the lead with 9 laps to go. And of course, penalties is going to be a key factor around here as well. But I must admit, penalties has been very good up until now. And we haven't had that many. And the only person that racked up quite a few was Slim, unfortunately. But I don't think he's going to care too much about it now, unfortunately, due to his DNF. Nigel is now all over the back of the Haas driver, of course, Lennon, and in the moment then. So we've seen Jamie there have a bit of a wild lunge there on Geordie earlier on in the race, and now as you can see, this is the tyre advantage. We've got a couple of penalties there. Steve not there. He's having a look. I think there's a final sector. There's no way you can get through here. Now we've got a fastest up there from Vanquish there. So Vanquish is also just kind of showing the guys this is my true pace and really trying to probably distract the guys up in front. Of course, the gap is 2 seconds then. And we're on board with Nigel then. Nigel, that's how twitchy the cars are with DRS. I mean, Nigel going up the inside. Good braking there. Nigel's got 3-second penalty there. Good braking there though from Lennon. We keep calling him Lennon Meringue. Of course, they've changed their names now. Now he's going on the outside. He's going to do a switchback. That was beautifully done from Nigel. Excellent. He's settled up quality. Amazing stuff from Nigel. He is up into 5th position. Of course, he had a strong debut last time out in Italy. And he's having a good race today. But Lennon's having a look. He's going to go on the outside. He brakes very late, Lennon. But Lennon, that's a great bit of braking manoeuvre there from Lennon. Really, that is Ricardo Retzko. Oh, he's going forward to the wall. Not quite. And then look at this, and these guys are all over the back of Lennon. Lennon's losing a lot of time. But that is Ricardo-esque on the braking. That was amazing stuff. I thought that the job was done and dusted. I thought that Nigel probably thought so as well. But no, not quite. Coming over the Anderson Bridge then, is you can see Nigel is all over the back. And he's going to do another switchback. Remember, there's no DRS around on this straight. He's all clear. He's damaged his front wing. There's a bit of end plate come off there. The gap into the lead and second is now under a second with 7 laps to go. He's going to go on the outside. Of course, Lennon looks like he's doing a very good job on the brake, but now he's on the switchback again. And now he's got the inside line. But I wonder how much that damage is going to affect Nigel into the close stages of the He should be able to get 4th because those tyres are way past their best. Oh, did he go into the barrier again there? I think he might have just been wide. Yeah, so Nigel there unfortunately has lost the end plate there, but he should be alright till the end of the race. And he should be able to get Coandy, because Coandy, no disrespect to Coandy, but he's been on 17 laps on those cars for 17 laps, so they will be yeah, as they might be handling like a shopping trolley at the moment, those cars. And now a Crazy Power sides his way. I'm surprised how far behind BP is. BP has lost a bit of pace in the final stint here, and he's able to. But don't count BP out. BP, talking of BP, I'm not. It's on the start-finish straight. I think he might have been in the final lap, the final corner. Oh no! And now we're and Slim has left the session, unfortunately. And Nigel is all over the back of Coandy, but also these guys here, the battle for the lead then. So Nigel is going to, we'll take a look at that in a minute, but the 13 lap tyres against the Ultra Softs who are on 4 and 5 laps, but Vanquish is there or thereabouts. We see McLaren in the background there. So now we've got 2 retirements out of the 12 that started. That's still great stuff. Unfortunately for BP though, I think it's on the start-finish straight. And we're keeping an eye on Nigel Coandy, Crazy Power in that battle there, because we've got 2 3-week battles now for 4th, 5th and 6th, and for the lead, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. NWB then, he's doing a very patient race, of course. It looks like then tomorrow, I think it might be soft to Ultrasoft, but remember though, these guys do make it work. It's not as easy, and NWB goes very wide there. And Sam Sturr is now going to have to look about defending there. Jamie's just done the fast lap of the race on the Autosoft tire, so he's just coming to the pits then. And so at the moment then these guys are still Lawrence Sturr, Coandy, and Nigel is having a look. Nigel's going to have a go in the start-finish straight here. Not quite there, so he's lost a bit of momentum there, Nigel has. But we're going to come back to these guys here now, because it looks like at the moment Sam Sturr is more concerned about Vanquish than getting by NWB then. For the battle for the lead. Nigel's still behind Coandy. Coandy defending really well. Lennon defending brilliantly as well. But yeah, so Lennon now has got a 14-second gap between himself and Jordan, so that's probably his next aim. I think for NWB, he's going to do amazing if he keeps this guy. Nigel's now up in the 4th position, going on the outside. So good stuff for Nigel there. Co-Andy is down to 5th. Crazy Power being the next one through. But staying with these guys here, the battle for the lead then, NWB, this is what I want to see in the Elite League. And oh, I thought he was going into the back there, coming over the Anderson Bridge there. It's very deceiving, the Anderson Bridge, isn't it? Where you can just fly around there. You can see there in the background, Jamie, of course, he's a lap down in the McLaren. And oh, he's going on the outside, he's having a look, and oh, and he's hanging in there. That's great move from Samster. Brilliant move for NWB. It's not got contact. Contact's been made there, but it's all fine. Just about NWB there, and he lets his teammate Vanquish through there. So bit of team play there from the Force India guys. So Vanquish is now going to get after the Ferrari. He has shown he's got the pace in this race. Of course, earlier on, of course, before Samster did a brilliant strategy call there and undercut Vanquish, but yeah, so Samster leads Vanquish in 2nd, lap 26 out of 31. We've still got 5 laps to go around here. Crazy, lock up there from Vanquish there. So really punching the tyres at the moment. Of course, they've only got 5 more laps to do on these tyres. He's having another look back on board with Vanquish then, and there's NWB is still within DRS range. But yeah, brilliant drive from all these guys. You can see the different strategies there. Crazy is now up into 5th position. Up the inside goes Vanquish, and he takes the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. Fine stuff from Vanquish. Brilliant driving from the championship leader, and that just shows why he's the championship leader. Absolutely amazing stuff. Getting these strategies to work from. He did 1 lap in qualifying. Oh, someone's gone on the wall there. I think it's a McLaren. I just touched the wall there. That just shows how that just shows that he's not only quick, he also knows how to get his strategy going as well. Brilliant stuff from 10th on the grid. He did 1 lap on the soft tyre, and even that was quite a pedestrian lap as well by his standards, of a 142-ish. And yeah, so he kept his tyres. And so really, basically, I don't think he didn't take much life out of the tyres. And you can see in the background we've got Samster and NWB there fighting as well. We've got a penalty there for Samster there for a 3-second infringement. But yeah, Vanquish there did a brilliant job in qualifying. I was questioning why he retired so early. Well, that just shows why he retired so early. He knew what he was doing, and now he is taking the lead then of the Singapore Grand Prix with just a handful of laps to go. And this race has been running for such a long time, and these guys have done a great job. Their concentration must be quite low now, but Vanquish has swooped into the lead, and he has done an awesome job. Just shows his strategy is king as well, but you have to be quick on that strategy. Samster did a great job of undercutting him. Brilliant job of undercutting him, and he's hit the wall. Both drivers have hit the wall there. Luckily he just tapped his rear, so he might have lost momentum, but he hasn't lost anything else. And NWB is now going to side on these. If we're going to get a Force India 1-2, we are. He is through, but the battle isn't over yet. And NWB is doing a good job on those 16 lap tyres compared to the Ultrasofts who's done 8 laps. Is the risk going to come back to NWB now, because of course the Ultrasofts have done 7 and 8 laps now. I would have thought they would have been fine till the end now. And Lennon and Co-Andy are now revisiting their battle for 6th and 7th. They've been battling all through the race. I figure Lennon's going to have the rear wing of the McLaren basically edged in his memory for the next couple of days. He's been learning that McLaren all the way through the race. About 27, having a look, not quite. Yeah, now you see the 3-second gap down between Vanquish and NWB. So Vanquish, remember, started 10th on the grid, I believe, and Cyril Samster has also done a good job as well, because he started quite low down. Both Ferraris did start low down, and Nigel was also on the back of the grid as well, and they've come through. They've done a really good job on strategy. It looks like strategy has definitely been the major part of this race. And Samster's really struggling, isn't he, to keep that car in a straight line. His tyres have overheated there, so he's struggling to keep it in a straight line. On lap 28. And well, it's been I think the driving here has been pretty immense tonight, with only 2 retirements, and we had 12 cars starting and only 2 retirements. Is pretty impressive for racing around Singapore. And of course, also we've got to just mention that Dave, of course, Dave, the usual commentator, of course, had a great weekend. Of course, he got married, and he's now on his honeymoon. He sent us a picture of just outside the FIA building, John is. I wish he would have gone in there and taught some sense into some of those guys. some of what they've done so far hasn't really been. Yeah, hasn't really been about proving the show, has it? Yeah. What good wishes to Dave, and it sounded like a great day. So congrats to Dave, and of course he will be back with us very soon, commentating on these amazing elite races. Unfortunately, I think you're stuck with me for the Super though for quite a while. And now Samster and NWB will be continuing their battle. Now the question is though, is Samster is are you disappointed? It's been a great race for the Force India guys, and very well driven from both those guys, and great team ethic as well from NWB. I must admit, some team orders kind of splits the fans down the middle, don't it, in terms of what it does and what it doesn't. But I think that sometimes in those cases when MWB is at the moment he hasn't been in the championship full time, so he will not be challenging for the championship yet. But certainly he'll be definitely next year. He definitely will be much more interested. And I don't think he'd be letting anyone through quite as easily. And of course, but yeah, I think that sometimes in that kind of instance, he had soft tires which were been on for a fairly long time, and of course, Vanquish had been on his ultra softs quite fresh. And you see Samster is now struggling. He is just within DRS range still at the moment, but might not be for much longer at the moment because he's dropping back down. Oh, he's understeered. He's kept his end plate, has he? He's on the awkward side of the car, so you can't actually see the end plate on that side from the onboard footage. As Lennon and Co-Andy we're going to join their battle because it's starting to heat up again. These guys have done a great job on those soft tyres. Very good job. 23 laps on the super soft tyres. That is amazing stuff, isn't it? Those guys have done a Jensen Button here today. A bit of twinkle toes, really, isn't it? In terms of just nursing those tyres to the end. I really thought that they was going to go to the Hypersofts to the end, or the Ultrasofts to the end, but man, that's brilliant stuff from both of these guys. Well done. Their rewards are going to be 6 and 7. Geordie is 15 seconds back on the Hypersoft tyre. So the Ultrasoft tyre, I'm glad they're sticking to soft, medium, and hard next season. on the Ultrasoft tyre, so I think Geordie has passed those. I think that they're just touching the outside barrier with the rear wheel. Yeah, so Geordie won't be causing Lennon much difficulties, and then of course Lucas and Jamie are both 9th and 10th. Unfortunately, they've had some difficult races from lap 30 out of 31. Then, so we are now going to join. We're now going to join Vanquish on his second to last tour of Singapore. brilliant drive from Vanquish as well. Let's go on board and just enjoy this and see that he's got a lot of errors available there, so he's just playing about there, keeping the harvest down, doesn't want to get out of his rhythm. See, look how smooth he is as well. Not much steering input from a Vanquish here. You can see very calm and collected, isn't he? And you can see going a bit wide there, but I think that this is more of a bit of back end movement there coming into the final sector now. Is just very calm, isn't he, on the steering wheel? He's looking in complete control, isn't he, at this stage? He's just enjoying himself here in Singapore, and his teammate is second at the moment, so we're going to have Force India 1-2. So, but NWB is definitely something to keep an eye on, isn't it? Nigel is the same as well, doing a good job. Of course, Sam Sturck did a great job today as well. There's been a lot of. I think all these guys do deserve a round of applause for getting to the end. And even so, we had. It's just unfortunate for him of how it just unraveled. It was great wheel-to-wheel racing, but yeah, sometimes racing incidents happen. But we'll look to see after the race. So we're in the final lap now, coming out of turn 3. You can see there a bit of power on the exit. Now coming up into turn 5. Of course, you've got to get a good exit off here, so you can have a good run down the back straight. Of course, this is the second of the DRS zones. There are 2 DRS zones around this circuit. Now into the infamous turn 7, as look at that, he keeps it well within track limits. So now it's turn 8 where Schumacher and Verne had a bit of a come together into turn 9 now. Of course, I think this is turn 9. I've always visited that barrier quite often. Coming into the back straight down to turn 10. This used to be the Singapore Slinger, turn 10, 11 and 12. Now we're into turn 11 and 12 now. Of course, that chicane has been tightened up in recent years over the Anderson Bridge into turn 13. It's a bit of a very tight down to the first gear there, almost 40 miles an hour he was down as far. You can see Vanquish there, just owning the revs there. Coming over the Boulevard Straight now, and then into the final part of the lap, and you can see a big exit curve there. Even though you still find the wall, don't you? And of course, here is where you find a lot of penalties. Is in such chicane now. They're coming into the grandstand then, as we were talking about in qualified, a unique feel to this track going into the grandstand. And now we're now exiting the final couple of corners now into turn 21. Then of course chicane is taking a lot, giving the exit wall a wide berth now to 22 and 23, and he comes across the line and Vanquish wins the Singapore Grand Prix. What a way to come back from a holiday. An excellent drive. NWB completes a 1-2 for the Force India guys. Excellent stuff. Sam Sturlow is actually Jones BP. Sam Sturr has jumped NWB and is back up in the second position, so that might have been a good strategy there from Sam Sturr there. Nigel comes through to finish 4th position then for the Red Bull, but no, he don't. He finishes 5th because Crazy Power finishes at 4th. Cole Andy will finish 5th. Nigel is dropped out of 6th, and Leonard Morang's in the wall, but I think he's finished. Lucas has finished 9th position. Geordie is the last man not to be lapped, and of course I think behind him is Jamie. So Geordie finishes 8th, and at 10th position then is Jamie. What a race! Good drive in there, and a round of applause to all these guys that made it to the end of this race, because it's about endurance. It's a really test your concentration. What a drive from Vanquish though, brilliant stuff. He has really got a stronger hold on this championship now, isn't it? It's kind of like a matter of not if but when now, isn't it? And Vanquish then is really in firm control now. Excellent stuff from Vanquish, and to be honest, a fine drive again. He was on board for him for the last 2 laps, wasn't he? Very well controlled as well. He wasn't exactly Larry, was he? But he was still going very quick. And of course, Samster pinched second away from NWB in the end after a penalty. So let's just take a quick look at the final classification from the Singapore Grand Prix then. So Vanquish, not only did he start from 10th to get the first, but he didn't have any penalties as well. Samster finished second in the end. Of course, that really helped him out. Of course, he qualified for second on the grid. Only had 1 penalty. NWB had 3 penalties there. Crazy Power only had 1. Good stuff. Andy, brilliant drive from Andy. Really enjoyed that. And Nigel from the back of the grid up into 6th. Lennon down is at 7th. He started on the front row. Geordie also started 3rd as well. The Hypersoft strategy didn't work out for them too, but really enjoyed seeing them battling out. Lucas down to 9th. Had a bit of a difficult day, as did Jamie as well. That was a shame for Jamie, wasn't it, really? Yeah, felt sorry for him in the end. And he had 4 stops as well. Lucas had 3. And the 2 retirements was BP and Slim. Ooh, I think I earned my money tonight. And of course, so that was brilliant from all those guys today. Yeah, as we said, congrats to Vanquish again. Of course, in the week's time, we will be going to Russia for the Russian Grand Prix in Sochi, because I think we go around the Winter Park, didn't we? Which the Winter Games back in 2014, I believe, something like that. Yeah, one of the newer tracks on the calendar, first debuted back in 2014. So yeah, it's a bit of hit and miss for drivers, but yeah, the track does produce some great battles on this game. So yeah, good stuff in Russia. But of course, then tomorrow though is the Super League stuff. So join us then tomorrow. I think a lot of those guys might have learned and seen what to do and what not to do tonight. But yeah, you still have to be a great driver to actually to make the strategy work, because yeah, as I said earlier in the broadcast, you have to be quick to get the one stopper to work. But anyway, yeah, we're looking forward to tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be great stuff to see. We've got a great battle then between Price, Kumquat, Blas as well. Of course, don't forget Hunter is a bit of a specialist around around the street circuits as well. So and yeah, we got Dan Murphy, who would like a bit of like to be out there as well. We've got all sorts of runners and riders that could which will be we got to be keeping an eye on tomorrow. But that's it from this tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.